Hey everyone, this is a hip opening, hip stretch. Hip opening's wrong, but just kind of releasing of the tension in the pelvis, not really opening the pelvis, just in fact maybe the exact opposite, but just releasing the tension there by working on some of the muscles. Ideal for hypermobiles who overly stretching and kind of and releasing the strength here, and actually you need to build some more strength there instead of keep stretching it. Ideal for people like me who are very tight. Cyclists and a lot of sitting. There's an awful lot more sitting going on because we're all in lockdown. So it's ideal for many things. It's going to be 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. I think 15. You just need a hoop or something to squeeze, a ball, or if you've been doing the classes, you can use a cushion, just something to squeeze between your knees. Something to, ideally a bolster, but something to raise yourself up. So again, a couple of cushions and a chair, which is hopefully in shot, and a nice quiet dog, which is off shot, and now he's come back into shot. Quiet dog. And a beautiful assistant, which is always nice to have. So this Ruth's going to demonstrate today, and I'm going to go behind the camera, back behind the camera. Okay, good. Seems like everything's working. Rusty, come. Good boy. Okay, so we're going to start a little routine. So we start with a chair. There's two ways you can approach the chair. If you're crazy tight in the back of the legs, and the dog doesn't keep falling over the tripod there. Right, Rusty, come around here. Good boy. And then you can just put your hands just leaning forward, hinging forward, coming onto your hands there. Good. And then tilting the pelvis. So if you're very tight, this will feel like a big stretch. But if you're not that tight, it won't feel like that much. In which case you could do the other version. You could flip the chair around, or you could put your hands on the top of the chair. Very good. And so what I mean by tilting the pelvis forward is tilting in this direction. So the hips are going that way. So these hip bones are going towards the floor. And some of you will be able to get quite a big, that's a medium. There you go. That's quite good. It's a medium stretch. You find when I do this, I'm kind of more, there's going to be a more rounded thing going on. I'm going to be more up here. Some of you might be there. And if you're there, you need to just put your hands on all fours. So just tilting the pelvis forward. Keeping the feet hip width apart. And have a look down and make sure your knees are facing forward. So you could bring that knee out a little bit. You could rotate the hips out so the knee's facing forward. Good. And you're just hinging there. You could put the feet a little wider. And you could just put all the weight down onto one leg. Push your hips over to one side. Just slide in the hips. Imagine you're against the wall. Don't let the bum cheek come away from the wall. You want to just slide the hips to one side. And I use the count to 10 or so there. And then back to the center with the hips. And Ruth's doing a slide. We're going to go away from us there, Ruth, onto the left leg. Good. Make sure both legs are straight. Both legs are touching the floor. Let's see if we can get Ruth's feet into shot. There we go. Gentle zoom. Lovely. Good. Okay, come back to the center. And slowly come back up to standing. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Next we're going to do the lunge. And actually, so you're high kneeling. I'm going to get Ruth to do this one facing forward. Rusty's come to join us. Lovely. So bring one leg up in front of you. That's very good. And you want to make sure the feet are at least hip width apart, or even maybe slightly wider. You can bring that foot in a little bit, Ruth. Good. Just so that you're not going to be on like a tightrope and not wiggling if you're too close together. If there's anything going on with your knee, you could put sort of cushion underneath your knee if you want to be a little bit more comfortable there. Then the other thing you're looking for is really, let's grab a block. So you want to be in pelvic neutral. And at the minute, you're probably leaning forward, a little bit forward there. You want to just think about bringing the pubic bone up and really getting a stretch on that back leg there. Make sure this foot is in front of the knee, like well in front. Make sure the ankle is in front of the foot there, the knee. Bringing the pubic bone up. If I'm in shot, hopefully I'm in shot. Hopefully. And then whichever leg you've got down, bring that arm up Okay, and this is the trick. So you can see Ruth nicely lined up there next to the ball. And if she brings her, reaches away, so you want to reach up into the corner of the room and over. What you don't want to do is let your hips slide out to the side. So if you're very mobile, you might find the hips just slide out to the side. Rusty's determined to be in the shot today. So let your hips drop out, Ruth, and just show everyone. Yeah, so you don't want to be doing that. You want to keep the hips in. You want to draw the hips in. And you want to keep reaching up with the crown of your head and reaching up with the arm. Good. Keep reaching. And then you're going over, but only if you can reach up and do that without letting the hips go out. As soon as you feel the hips shuffling out, you just want to pull them back in. You're going to get a stretch in the psoas. Psoas is a big, tight muscle on the inside, but it's not supposed to be tight, but it is in most of us. Lovely. Okay, relax and come back up. Let's swap sides. Let's disturb Rusty. Good. Swapping sides. So bring your foot up. You can bring that foot in a little bit. I know it's going to involve moving him. You can move your back knee if you wanted to then. Good. And then you're bringing the pubic bone up and really getting a stretch in that top of the leg there where we've got to put our hand just on the top of the leg, top of the quad. So it's a quad stretch and it's a psoas stretch. And we're going to build up into that. So then whichever leg you've got down, keep bringing the pubic bone up. Whichever leg you've got down, bring that arm up. Good. And then you've got to keep that hip rooted there. Imagine there's a box around you. You don't want to hit the box. And you keep reaching the arm up and going over. Same with your head. You don't want to get your neck, add any tightness to the neck. Just keep reaching up with your arm. Keep reaching over with the hands. Lovely. Is that as far as you go on that side, Ruth? Oh, there you go. A bit further. Just look a little bit tighter than the other side. Lovely. Keep reaching. Make sure the hip doesn't drop out. Yay. So you're getting a quad stretch if you bring the pubic bone up as well. And you're also getting a little psoas stretch at the same time. Okay, relax, come back up. Yay, very good. So for this next one, you need a bolster or just a couple of cushions. So you could, you just lie on your back, do a little bridge and put the bolster or cushions underneath you. Bolsters are quite heavy, so if you've got a bolster, this is a good way to get on top of the bolster. But you can just do a little bridge, bring your hips up and then put the cushions under. So if you can start with your left leg, Ruth, just for this one. Just pull the knee in. First of all, it's just pulling the knee in. And for a lot of people, that's the stretch, just pulling the knee in. Then you straighten the other leg away. So start with it high. And then slowly bring it down towards the mat. And if you can see here with Ruth, when she brings the leg down, there's a point at which it starts to pull and the other knee starts to move. This will be good for a few of you. I've done this in class and not everyone always gets it. You can't see it. You can't feel it. It's really easy to see here. So release a little bit, let it give a little bit and show your pelvis moving or do the leg. Yeah. So if your other knee is moving away from you, then that's as far as you can get. So Ruth's kind of cheating because she's bending her leg. So if she straightens her leg, she's still not going to touch the floor. Now, some people can. The psoas isn't that tight. The hips aren't that tight. But your knee should be right into your chest. So Ruth could pull that knee in more. There you go. And you see how her right foot lifted up off the floor more. So there's so many ways to cheat on this one. The lunge is an easier way to do the psoas. But this is a nice way, hip opening. And the knee is into the chest. It's not out to the side. Some of you have got more movement when you bring the hip out to the side, the knee out to the side, but that's not great for the hip joint. And you're kind of working the right leg or one leg down towards the floor and pulling the other knee in. Good. Okay, let's swap. So start the leg high, that's very good, Ruth, and then just bringing the leg down towards the mat. This side already looks tight, and there'll be a point at which where the knee starts to pull away, the right knee there starts to pull away. It's about there, it's a lot higher than the other leg. Yeah. It's hard to tell how high off the floor you are, it's hard to tell how close the other knee is in. It's very easy to watch from a distance and see these things. And if your hip is tight here, if it's very tight, you're a hip replacement, you're really nervous about this, you don't have to pull it in too tight. It's just about opening one leg up and reaching the other leg up. One leg reaches away, one leg comes in. Good. Knees bent, feet flat. Do a little bridge, and then push away whatever your supporting thing there was, your cushion or bolster. That's very good. And then grab the hoop, which you just put the bolster on the hoop, I think, Ruth. Good. Lovely. So hoop or cushion, a couple of cushions between your knees. And then you're just breathing out and squeeze. Breathe in and relax. Breathe out and squeeze. See if you can squeeze. And again, if you're doing this in your back care, this is fine for both back care and advance. In fact, it's advisable. Everyone gets tight. We're all Westerners living in a world where sitting and walking on flat ground is common. If you're more active, you're just as liable to compound those issues as if you are inactive. So squeeze the knees and then relax, squeeze and relax. Now, Ruth's keeping her pelvis still here, but move it around a little bit, Ruth. So, yeah. Generally, people with chronic lower back pain, they move their spine and their pelvis when they squeeze the hoop. So find pelvic neutral, a little bit of engagement. I always say it's imagine like you've got a little dog or a cat on your belly and you don't want it to be disturbed. So you're trying to keep your belly still, a little bit of engagement, those side muscles, keeping the pelvis still. Lovely. You're working your inside thigh muscles. That's going to help the pelvis feel more stable. So when I'm talking about opening the pelvis, you're not really going to open the pelvis, but you're going to make the pelvis feel more open and feel more relaxed by working all this, so stabilizing muscles that we don't work day to day. If you want, you can do more of these at home. Again, this the hoop, you can just do 10 quick, 10 slow if you wanted to. Definitely something to add on at the end of this if you want to. But we're going to go straight into bridging. I'm going to try and keep this one short, this video. So you breathe out, squeeze the hoop, ball or cushion. Good, and bring your hips up off the mat. Good. Breath in at the top, breath out and start from the back of your neck. Slowly putting the spine back down, lower back touches before your bum. Good. And then relax. You relax the legs. Very good. Breathe out and squeeze. Engage the side muscles to pull yourself up, front muscles pulling yourself up. Breath in at the top, breath out and come back down. Try and touch your lower back before your bum. And if you're getting tired of the hoop, you can swap for a ball. Just as good enough for squeezing. Breathe out and squeeze. Bring the knees up off the mat. Lengthen the legs away. This is a kind of stretch. It is a kind of top hip opening and working the bottom of your leg. If you're lucky, you get a little lick on the face from a cute dog. It definitely needs to just stay out of the room. Good. You're blocking the shot. Slowly back down. Last one. Up and stay up. Squeeze, ball, hoop or cushion, whatever it is you've got. Good. And then really push your heels down. Squeeze your glutes. Keep it out of the neck and shoulders. Yeah, nice and relaxed there. Ruth's very relaxed. And then slowly back down. Very good. Lovely. Grab a cushion. Roll over onto your side. I'll take. Good. Over onto your side. There we go. Bottom leg bent. Top leg straight. And lift it up to hip height. Good. Push the heel away. Take a minute to push the heel away. Good. Reach the leg away. And then we're just going to start with small circles. If you can make the foot towards point towards the floor and rotate the leg. And we'll start with small massage-sized ball circles. You can take a quick look down at your foot, and if you can see more than just your toes peeking out, your foot is too far in front of you. Generally, people are quad dominant on the front, the muscles at the top of the front of the leg. It brings the leg forward, so you want to squeeze the glute, circle the leg more, as much behind you as in front. Not more behind you, just as much behind you. Rusty, come here, mate. Good boy. Some treats and stay out of shot. Good. Do you want to go slightly bigger, just to football size circles? Again, I'm trying to keep this one under 20 minutes. We're already at 15, which is quite shocking. Good. Change direction, but still keep it at this football size. Ruth's very good at doing the circles, but not making them go quickly. And going up and going in front and back behind. Hopefully keep pushing the heel away. Hopefully you're breathing. Good, and then we'll end with small circles. Good. And again, you could do more of these if you wanted. Quicker is not more. Quite often when you go quicker, you just skip muscles, which is why I slow people down. Lovely. And relax. Great. Swap legs. Bottom leg bent. Top leg straight. Cute dog in position. Reaching the hip away, reaching the leg away like you're taking a step on sand and the heel sinks in the sand. You feel the glute squeeze, and we're starting with small circles. Again, rotate the knee and the foot towards the floor. You're going for small circles and your hip is the center of the circle. So not circles starting from hip height going higher. Keep them fairly low. Keep the center of the circle just in your hip socket. Some of you can go higher, but you're using different muscles to use that. Then let's go to football size circles. And generally people that go higher go quicker, and you're just skipping all the good work that you need to do. Lovely. Change direction. Rusty's only had walk-on parts before now, but he's getting the full starring role today. Change direction again, not quicker. No, sorry, keep changing direction, but not quicker. And not... You want to keep reaching the leg away. And then we go for smaller circles. Lovely, small circles. And relax, Ruth's losing coordination. Cool, we're almost done. Let's keep it under, see if we can keep it under 20. So grab a chair, Ruth, we're back up onto all fours. You can do, in fact, up onto all fours, let's do a little stretch here. There's a good old, if you're back here, you probably find this very hard to do, so there's no need to do it. But peel your toes under, put your bum up in the air. Any kind of glaucoma or blood pressure issues or blood sugar issues, any lightheadedness you're liable to get, I don't advise this one. Good, do a little stretch there. Pregnancy, don't do this one. Okay, come back down. Just a nice little stretch to come out of it if you can. Okay, you want to grab a chair, Ruth? And then we'll just end with the chair stretch like we did at the start, just literally a minute or two with that. Good. So you can use the back of the chair, or you can go kind of with your hands underneath your shoulders. Good. And you're tilting your pelvis, so feet are hip width apart. The other thing you could do is check that your knees are facing forward, which might need a little rotation out to the side. Good. And then you're tilting the pelvis forward. If it's too much for your shoulders, you definitely flip the chair around. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Good, so then you're just going to glide the hips over to one side. It might be a smaller range of movement than you think. Just sliding the hips. You're sliding towards us there. It's hard to see, but Ruth just slid her hips towards us. Check that both knees are still facing forward and they're both locked. Very good, Ruth. That's it. Lovely. And again, back to the center, over to the other side. Sliding away from us there. And Ruth's got quite a bit of mobility in the hips there, so she's moving quite away. This might be a lot smaller range for some of you. That's fine. Good. And hips back to the center. Good. You might want to soften your knees, push down with your feet to come back up to standard, but it's just a little stretchy hip release. Not really hip opening, but hip release, which in the end opens up the hips. Give everyone a wave, Ruth. Yay! Thank you very much. Hope that's useful for somebody. Take care, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.